right, welcome everybody to the YouTube channel, BSG Radio YouTube channel. Like we do every single week, we give you guys a new topic to talk about. And man, we got hot off the press, headlining breaking news. Doc Rivers is out of LA.
Yikes.
Also, we'll be previewing the NBA Finals. You can see in the background that it's all set and it's ready to go. So it's going to be.
I don't see no heat. Oh, okay, I see it now.
They over there.
I see him at the top. Jimmy.
There he is. But we got Todd Mack in the building.
What's good, y'all?
Great to get you back. Last week was his anniversary, so happy anniversary to you and your wife.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you.
We got Al High.
Good evening. What's happening? Good to be back.
And we got Will Walker in the building, throwing up the U.
The U, baby. The U. We back.
And I think we got somebody in the league.
That's my kids. Those are my little people. Those are my kids. Daddy. Hey. I'm on, so you have to mute them because they're going to keep doing that.
Okay. All right, we got Taryn Rodriguez in the building, always supporting us right here, what we do here. But let's get into it, man. Doc Rivers is officially out of LA, and the Clippers, that is. Now, there's a lot of takes on this. Some people were surprised. Some people are like, yes, what he deserves with the roster he had. My opinion is this roster, if this was a regular NBA season, I would say go ahead, fire him, because you don't have any excuses. Now, excuses are crap. I mean, people don't like excuses. But at the end of the day, this is essentially a brand new team. This is people weren't in the bubble. Some people weren't even there. Lemon Pepper Lou was out getting wings. Montrezl Harrell, mom passed away. I mean, there was a lot of scenarios. This is not just like a simple, NBA season. Now, the way that they lost was in a horrible fashion, but the Nuggets, they just outplayed them. So, in my opinion, I think he should have got one more year. And somebody pointed out, well, you had all the other teams with the Clippers and where all his past experience. So I want to start with Ty. I want to start with you first. What was kind of your initial response? And let me say this: when I seen it, I was like, "Whoa!" My wife was like, "What happened?" It was like Doc Rivers just got let go. She was like, "Oh, I thought it was something serious." Like that is serious. But Ty, go ahead and dive into that.
Man, so I mean, I'm kind of with you in that feeling of just wow, right? I didn't expect him to be let go. And I was just actually telling people, I was like, you know what? Even if they lose that series, they bringing Doc back. He's the one that helped bring Kawhi and Paul George to the Clippers. He's also the one that made the Clippers attractive, right? Like that team was not attractive prior to Doc Rivers. So, regardless of his failures in the playoffs, and yes, he's had some good teams. He had the 3-1 meltdown against Houston some years ago where they choked. And it was up 3-1 with Chris Paul and Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan, right? They had that one. You look at this team now, and, as you stated, it's a lot of just new moving pieces there. And in a regular season, I mean, they were favored. I think they were favored because people expected them to gel by the end of the season going into the playoffs and, boom, have the talent and the experience to win a chip. But that bubble has just been interesting. The bubble just kind of destroyed everybody's like continuity. People came back playing a lot better. You're fresh, and so I think that just really caught up with the Clippers. They got some bad breaks against Denver. They should have beat Denver, but they got some bad breaks against Denver. Choked it, and like I said, I thought they was gonna come back next year and really give it a solid shot. But I guess Ballmer got other plans. He got other plans because I think if I'm correct, Doc is also the GM there, right? Ain't he like the GM and the coach? So
that's what I thought too.
So I mean, that's huge right there. Now you looking at them. I mean, what do you do now? Because like I said, I truly believe that Kawhi and Paul George came to play with Doc Rivers. I mean, of course they wanted to play in LA too, but they came for Doc Rivers. So now, who is the next coach that you're gonna bring in? Because he has to convince them to stay after next season. Because they out of it. They only got a 2-year contract. In 2 years, they can be gone, and they ain't traded everything until 2027. So
Yeah.
you ain't got no help coming. You ain't got no help coming.
That's the thing. Like if Kawhi and PG came there for Doc Rivers, and now Doc Rivers is gone, like how, and they're both emotional. Like I don't care what nobody say. They both get into their feelings. So what is their thinking like right now at this point in time? Are they gonna be looking for? I'm sure they're gonna be have some input with their next coach. But Will, we'll go to you.
What's up? For me, I think everybody that got fired out of the bubble will go and get fired at some point anyway. If you look at Nate McMillan, he's gone. I think they were going to let him go no matter if he didn't get a certain outcome. And I think Doc was championship or bust, and I think that's what Steve Ballmer put him at, is championship or bust. And they underperformed, so he had to go. As far as the next guy that's going to come in there, man, good luck, because Kawhi's not going to want to play. He's going to want to load manage. You know what I'm saying? You got to baby him like you got to do a kid. Paul George, we don't know what's going on with Paul George. He says he has depression issues, and I'm not one to mess with people's mental health because I've suffered from depression myself. So, but for real, I don't know who they're going to bring in, man. And this news to me was really shocking because I'm with you, Ben. This was the bubble, and everything is thrown off whack as far as people's health, the normalcy that we're dealing with. So this is crazy. It's absolutely crazy to let a guy go in an unconventional circumstance that the bubble is. And we know what the bubble has provided. It's provided with a dude getting ready to get a divorce because he had to get into a situation with the COVID lady.
Facts.
So, man, we got a lot, the bubble, and then we got the Miami Heat who came out of nowhere. I'm not gonna sound racist, but we got 3 white boys on that team. Well, 5 white boys on that team, and we're in the NBA Finals. You already can have 2 and make the NBA Finals, okay? But we got 5. So, for real though, I don't know, man. I'd like what Stephen A. just said. You know, if Doc lands on his feet, it'd be definitely with the Clippers. His thing is some way, somehow, he's got to trick Ben Simmons into even attempting a jump shot. And that's the big thing. But as far as who replaces him, I mean, who could you get? You can't put Ty Lue in that situation because Ty Lue was LeBron's puppet in Cleveland. And Jason Kidd, he's still working on some things from, whatever the situation is in his personal life. And Mark Jackson is too religious for everybody. Nobody wants to deal with Mark. Seriously. So you got to bring a high profile guy in unless somebody was shooting with a shooting coordinator at another location they was in, like Steve Nash and Kevin Durant.
I mean here we go. Taryn just put it in the chat. Mark Jackson, D'Antoni, Sam Cassell, Nate McMillan. If they go Brett Brown, they deserve to whatever new stadium they build. They deserved a lot of match on that. And throw a cocktail in the window.
That's absolutely crazy.
Now, Sam Cassell is on the staff. Isn't he? He's on the staff with the Clippers, right?
He actually got to coach the last game in the bubble. Sam Cassell makes sense, but are you getting a guy? The one thing about a championship coach, and we all know this as sports fanatics, you got to be able to make the decisions when the money's on the line. That's what's getting Spoda love that he got because everybody gave LeBron the credit the first 2 championships. Now they're seeing that he is making critical decisions to put his players in the best spots to make plays. That's what got Pat Riley to that level. That's what got Phil Jackson to that level. So and of course Greg Popovich and Rick Carlisle. So you gotta have a guy that when it comes down to it, he's got to be able to put his guys in the right position. And is Sam Cassell that guy without any head coaching experience? I don't know. I couldn't answer that question. I don't think that's what it is. I don't think that's what he is.
The interesting part about that job is you're definitely going to need somebody who can manage by attitudes, personalities, right? Yeah. You have so many different personalities on that team.
It's not just coaching.
Exactly. Yeah. It's definitely not just coaching. It's not just an X and O thing. You got to have somebody that's charismatic. You got to have somebody who can can play to the issues that Kawhi has, but also manage the issues that Paul George has as far as his health. He has injury issues too, right? And then he's doing his mental stuff. You know, you have fiery players on your bench like the Morris twin and Montrezl Harrell, who, by the way, they're gonna have to pay him to get him to come back next season. You still got to be able to keep Lou satisfied. You got to be able to develop these other players and Shamet, and so there's a lot of moving pieces there. And to be real, like, Doc had already shown that ability to manage all that, and he kind of just got tossed. So now, who do you go get? Because Doc is legitimately that dude, right? Like, whether we like him, whether you agree or disagree with like his ability to coach, he has shown the ability to coach a bunch of different personalities. You look at the Boston situation, you look at Orlando situation, and you look at the Clippers. They've had a whole bunch of different personalities through the Clippers, and he's been able to manage them as well as get the most out of his players. I mean, looking back to last year that team was not supposed to make the playoffs.
No.
Right? They were not supposed to make the playoffs. Hence, one of the reasons why I think Kawhi Leonard decided to come to the Clippers. He saw what he did over there and was like, you know what? That really wasn't a playoff team. You got the most out of them. Now come and bring me over here and go get me somebody else and let's go get this chip. So with that being said, it's a great question. Who do you bring in? Because you can't bring in no rookie coach. I don't think, you can bring in no rookie coach. It got to be a veteran that has some experience. And, whether that's playing in championship or being on a championship staff before or something, but it got to be a veteran coach. And just based on that list that Taryn put down, like I don't go get none of them dudes. I just be real. I can't go get none of them dudes.
It's got to be somebody that can convince Lou that whenever he's close to Atlanta, bring the strippers to him and not go to Magic City.
Don't go, bro. Don't go.
Hey, yo, I've been to Magic City, yo. He ain't go for no wings. I'm gonna just go ahead and just try those.
Yeah, he went.
I went to school in Atlanta. Yeah,
he ain't go for no wings.
At least not no chicken wings. He didn't go for.
Yo, the wings he went for, they ain't sure wasn't no wingettes. I can try to tell you straight up. I mean, and he could have brought that to him for real. I mean, that wasn't even necessary. But hey, that bubble life, man.
Yeah,
I guess
it's different. We gotta. I'm not saying you give Doc a pass. I'm just saying you hold it off a year. Now,
right.
Al, we'll go to you. Before we go to you, we got a question. If the Clippers made the Western Conference Finals, would he still have a job? My answer to that question would be yes, because that was it. If you were a basketball fan, you had penciled in LA versus LA. If you didn't, you're a hater. That's the only reason why you didn't have it. So, yes, I think he would have still had his job, because that's what it's like. Everybody in the NBA and basketball world was expecting that to collide. I think when that did not happen, I'm sure Ballman was probably like, okay, like, I don't want to make this move, but if I don't make this move, maybe what does this look like towards the rest of the team? Because there could be other stuff going on that we really don't even know. But I'll go to you.
Definitely. I think the goal was for them this year to get to the Western Conference Finals, to have a chance to compete for a championship. Yes, you're under certain situation. Yes, everybody who was in the bubble. I believe the Lakers and the Clippers did not want to play in the bubble. But if you look at where the Lakers are at today and their focus and their mindset, okay, we got to go to this bubble, but we're still going to be professional. They made it through the bubble. You got to look at what happened with the Clippers in Game 5 and in Game 6. I don't even want to talk about 7, but Game 5 and 6, they had a double-digit lead, and you could not close out those two particular games. So now we get to Game 7. Now you're tied. Denver has all the confidence in the world. It's lights out. It's match, checkmate. It's done deal. So for this decision to happen, it had to be something behind the scenes that happened with him and Ballmer. So something didn't work out. Hey, with Ballmer, something happened where Doc Rivers was out of a job. Yes, Doc Rivers was able to manage several different personalities on and off the court, the minute restriction, everything. Had pretty much, in my opinion, one of the best staffs in the NBA, right up there with the Lakers. So I think it was how they finished, how they ended the season. I believe they weren't focused. Some of the players weren't focused, were not able to close out. But then again, you got to look at, man, you know, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George came in for 2 years. So it better be, Obama better have a good head coach that's going to replace Doc Rivers. Somebody we don't know about. Maybe somebody overseas. Better be like a Phil Jackson to be able to handle all these different personalities in Clipperland, because this right here, man, it's surprising, but then it's not surprising. But then again, I mean, they just didn't perform, man. And you're professional athletes. I'm Obama. I'm paying you all to win. And how we lost in Game 5 and Game 6, but we didn't close and we didn't finish the deal. That's a problem. And if you get to the Lakers, man, we could have had a 7-game series probably. And I had the Clippers in the NBA Finals. So for them to just collapse like this, man, it blew my mind. I'm just gonna say it like that. I'm still shocked that the Nuggets were in the Western Conference Finals over the Clippers.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of us are, because when you say Kawhi and Paul George, and when you think what Kawhi did in Toronto last year, the expectation for this year went up. It wasn't even the same when he was with the Spurs. The expectation to me went up, and so I was expecting it to be a breeze for them to just straight up get to the Western Conference Finals and it almost be nothing. But obviously it was not that. Denver was hungry. Denver got it fully healthy, and you see what the outcome ended up being. And Terrence said, funny thing is, Doc is still under 2 years left on his contract. That's another interesting part of this. But when it's professional sports, the one thing that I've learned is it doesn't matter if you got a lifetime contract. And I'm gonna specifically talk about Harbaugh. Harbaugh has a lifetime contract, but I guarantee you, if they keep losing to Ohio State, that lifetime contract will be put in the trash and it'll be burnt. Mm-hmm. So there is always a way out of a contract. There is not always, oh, well, since this happened, there's always an out. So Doc is gone. Doc is already, if you guys haven't heard of this, I'm sure you probably have, the Pelicans are already on the phone. The 76ers are already on the phone. Will mentioned that. And I think I kind of like – let's talk about those two spots. Which one would we pick? I would go with the 76ers. I think they need somebody else besides Brett Brown, and he can maybe be that guy. Now, it's people have tried. Brett Brown tried. I don't think he tried hard enough. I don't think he did. Frankly, he did enough. But I do think Doc can maybe come in here and help change some things. I like the Pelicans too because they're young. Doc can probably help to kind of form and build them up into into a legitimate team. But if I had to pick one, I'll pick the 76ers, mainly and partly because I just want to see the 76ers reach their full potential, and they have not done that yet. So, Will, I'll go to you.
Man, the 76ers ain't doing nothing as long as they keep Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons together. Let's just call it what it is. They can resurrect Red Auerbach and whoever else. They're not doing anything as long as they keep those two guys together, because Ben Simmons refuses to shoot outside jump shots. And he needs to play an open floor game. And that's not what's going to happen as long as Joel Embiid clogs the middle. So it doesn't matter whether they bring Doc, Ty Lue, Jason Kidd, D'Antoni, bring Nate McMillan over there. As long as they got those two guys together, we've all seen this already. We know what it is. They need a guy like Jimmy Butler that can say, look, this is your job, and this is your job. And without that type of steady influence on them, we saw the results. Although Ben was hurt in the bubble, but still, we saw the results. They couldn't play on the road. They could only play at home. I watched them play the Miami Heat earlier this season. And while they were running up and down the court against the Heat, they were killing them. The Heat threw a zone at them and just backed off of Ben Simmons and sat in Joel Embiid's lap. Then everybody started doing it. So until he wants to shoot, it doesn't matter who they bring in. He's got to want to shoot. And I don't know why they let go J.J. Redick. They let go J.J. Redick and they let go Jimmy Butler. And they replaced them with a rookie and some foreign dude we don't even know. So the 76ers problem is Elton Brand. It is not.
Wait, hold on. No. All right, go ahead.
Seriously, that's the problem. He's the GM. It's just like Ben, this has been show. This has been radio station. if everybody on this radio station keeps effing up, messing up, ratings are dropping, people are not listening, and he doesn't do nothing about it, Ben's the problem too.
That's okay. Only reason I don't blame Elton Brand is because Elton Brand did what Brett Brown wanted him to do. He's a coach's GM. The coach said he didn't want Butler back. He didn't want Butler back. So he said, okay, cool. I'll get rid of him. Go ahead and win. And he didn't win, so now he gone too, right? I mean, I don't want to blame Elton Brand. I feel like Elton Brand needs to get more time to kind of put that together. He's only been a GM for 2 years. But when
you're in charge, you have to make tough decisions. And the results on the floor said with Jimmy Butler, they were a better team. They are a lucky bounce away from them bouncing the Milwaukee Bucks out of the playoffs last year. I mean, let's not get it twisted. That ball bounced like 19 times before it went in for Toronto.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So, and I think Philadelphia would have done the same. Matter of fact, I think Philadelphia probably would have dispatched them in the gentleman's sweep 4-1. So I don't understand the move to let Jimmy go and pay Tobias Harris. Who thinks Tobias Harris is a better player than Jimmy Butler?
And then pick up Josh Richardson on top of that because you have all these.
Well, hold on. Hold on. But
listen.
Right.
To answer your point about Jimmy Butler, let me go ahead and give kudos about Jimmy Butler.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all the places where he has been positive at. Jimmy Butler was a positive force in Minnesota. They went to the playoffs. Where is Minnesota at right now? Okay, they're at the house. What happened in Chicago? They at the house.
Right.
So in Philadelphia, they should have kept Jimmy Butler because really he was like the voice. He was the mouthpiece. Hey, get your tail over here.
That's what I'm saying.
Because the coaches weren't doing it. So then you replace them, and there's no mouthpiece in the locker room. Is what I'm saying. There was nobody. Hey, you go over here, you go over there. No, it's no mouthpiece. Where's the Miami Heat right now? We're gonna be talking about them on Tuesday and Wednesday of this week.
But see, and the thing is, I totally agree with both of you guys. I think that Jimmy Butler should have stayed in Philly. I just think that Elton Brand was trying to be a coach's GM. He was saying, hey, you said you want this player over here, I'm gonna go get you this player. You want these players over here, I'm gonna go get you this. You gotta win. And that didn't happen, so now he gone. And yeah, he looked like he got egg on his face because now Jimmy Butler is in the damn finals, right?
Who's going to get Ben Simmons to take outside jump shots? That's the problem with them.
Well, see, here's the thing for me. Ben Simmons shouldn't be playing point guard. Put Ben Simmons at power forward and let him play point forward.
Go get it.
That's what they were supposed to do, and then all of a sudden he was back up at the top of the key. He don't need to be at the top of the key. Like, he ain't gonna shoot.
Brett Brown was like, "Hey, you're playing point today, okay? Everything good?"
Yeah.
This was like, "No, I'm good."
Go ahead. Go ahead.
But my issue with that whole team, the way it is constructed, was just terrible, right? Like, you got a bunch of players that are playing out of position. You got a bunch of players doing stuff they should. Joel Embiid is the biggest dude on the floor, and he's at the 3-point line trying to take people off the dribble. That's ridiculous, right? Then you got Al Horford. Yeah, Al Horford. Al Horford is your best passing big. You got him playing in the paint. He can shoot the jumper too, but I mean, play him in a high pick and roll. You don't play him in a high pick and roll at all.
Oh, why sign Al Horford?
Or even that. That was even the worst. Why do you even sign him? You didn't need an Al Horford. You know what I'm saying? You got Tobias Harris who want to spot up in the 3-point line in the corner 3 all day. That's all he does is just spot up. That's all he does. You paying a dude $30 million to spot up.
It was clogged up in there. It was clogged up. Watching him in that bubble, I said, Lord, I see why I didn't watch Philadelphia this year, man. It was garbage, man. Like, clogged up, all these big men taking up space. It was no spacing.
Exactly.
So that's what was missing.
And quietly, who they did miss, along with Jimmy Butler, is this guy named JJ Redick, who was always stretching the floor. No matter, like, I don't know how the dude just stretches the floor, but he just stretches the floor. He's on the floor opens up. Right?
The same way Duncan Robinson does. He's a specialist.
He's a specialist.
That's JJ Redick.
And so with that being said, you saw those pieces like off the floor And again, now we point to like the problem that we've been having since Ben Simmons came into the league. When are you going to take a jump shot? When can you take a mid range? Can you take a 3-pointer? Can you do something? Shoot the ball. Shoot it with your left. Shoot it with your right. Kick it, damn it! I don't care. Just throw something at the rim.
I think he's dated more IG models than he's taking jump shots.
You're right.
So,
oh man, yeah,
you're right about that. That's shots fired, but he's right though. But here's the other thing too. The rumor immediately after they were out, maybe it was a little bit before, we started seeing who's going, Ben or Embiid. I mean, and I think too, a lot of this stuff. If you got, last year we found out that Colangelo had burner accounts. You got to believe that one of these guys in this organization could have put that out there, but they got to make a decision. Like, what direction is his team going to go? And Will, you're right. Whoever you bring in here, you got to have a clear-cut direction. You can't have a whole bunch of confusion, and you got a coach and you tell him, help them not be confused, even though they're already confused.
Hence why I think that if any fit would be good for Doc Rivers, the New Orleans fit would be better, right? He has a well, first off, they're a young team, and he's a teacher. He likes to teach, right? So he can develop those type of players. He's had a player that's similar to Zion Williamson already, and Blake is just super athletic, can get to the rim, and still needs to develop, right? As we saw Blake in with the Clippers, he developed the jump shot, right? He developed and was able to step that out. That's stuff that Doc Rivers can teach him. He has a point guard that can play defense, right? Another thing that Doc Rivers loves, point guards that play defense. Ball is by far one of the best defenders in the league, whether you like him or not. His jump shot is broke, but he can play defense.
When he wants to play.
When he's healthy. When he's healthy,
right.
he can play defense. And again, he's a player that gets the most out of young guys. He got a guy named Brandon Ingram that's there that developed a lot more. I think, I personally think that Doc Rivers can go to that team and really make a difference, can change that culture, can get them to buy in more, and develop those young cats, and actually maybe make the playoffs next year.
Well, you better bring a nutritionist and get Zion off his mama's biscuits.
Yeah. You got to get him out of New Orleans. Yeah.
Man, let me tell you, man, New Orleans put pounds on me, and I'm still trying to lose them. And you know what I'm saying? I gained 30 pounds after high school in 30 years, so I'm just saying that New Orleans put that meat on you, boy, for real.
Yeah.
All them red beans and cornbread.
Or a girl from New Orleans, one of the two.
True. So, Al, who do you have? Where do you think Doc should go?
I would say the easier pick is, as of right now, New Orleans, because I believe a new culture is being built with the GM in New Orleans. I can't think of the guy name from the Cleveland, the GM.
Dimps? Is it Dimps?
No. He the former GM of the.
Talking about Griffin.
He's talking about David Griffin.
David Griffin. Like I believe they are creating a different culture, a new perspective. I think what's in Philadelphia right now, on the floor wise, it's a mess right now with some of these contracts given out. If he has to go to Philadelphia, you literally, in my opinion, I think you need to either trade Embiid or Simmons to at least get something back. But in New Orleans, you have a lot of young talent. You have a lot of up-and-coming talent. I mean, they're going the right direction. They are. But I think that they need a different voice in their ear to take them to that next peak. I think they are maybe like one piece away. So New Orleans would be the better fit for him.
Yeah. I think you guys have come to a consensus. So we can roll with that. Now, let's get to this NBA Finals. Miami Heat took care of their opponent last night in the Celtics, and they're now moving on to the Finals. To me, this is the most surprising matchup in my mind. I did not think this was going to happen. I just thought the Heat would be good. Yeah, you called it. I just thought the Heat would be good. I thought they would probably make it out of the first round. But Jimmy Butler, man. I mean, if anybody knows the backstory on Jimmy, which I'm not gonna dive too deep into that, you can look it up. But the amount that he had to go through just to make it to Marquette, the amount he had just to make it through his teenage years, like this guy's grit. I got more respect for Jimmy Butler now. And you think about the other places he was at, maybe he just wanted to win, and the people around him didn't want to win, or they didn't have the commitment that he had. And you can't fault a player for this. But when you see him in this system that he's in right now, and how they're flourishing, and how they got the young players, and how they got, I don't know, White Chocolate Part 2. I don't want to go too far, but Tyler Hero is looking at it like he's going in that direction. You got shooters. I mean, they have so many pieces that really caught me off guard. But I know, hey, shout out to Courtney. He's jumping in on the YouTube side. Taryn already saying Lakers in 6. I know he's a Lakers fan, so I'm not surprised to hear him say that. But this is going to be, I think, a great matchup, number one. And number two, I think we're going to see some great basketball on both sides. I think matchups are going to be fun. I think you get to see the coaching, how that's going to go. Personally, if we maybe let's give our predictions at the end. But I think this is it's unpredicted, and with it being unpredicted, it's going to make this a better finals to watch. But I'm gonna go to the resident Miami Heat fan that's on right now. I know you were happy, but just give us a little bit of introduction on this finals.
First of all, with the Jimmy Butler, what did you say, Jimmy Butler? Jimmy Butler's an a-hole, but some a-holes are good and some places are good for certain a-holes. You know what I'm saying? So that's what he is, and he fits well because the Miami Heat, that's what they promote. You know what I'm saying? It's a don't take it personal culture. You know, sometimes certain personalities are not for everybody.
True.
You know, and his personality fits great. It's a perfect marriage between him and the Miami Heat. This is just one of those series to where, listen, they got the two best players on their side. The problem that's nobody in this league has an answer for LeBron and AD. Maybe LeBron, maybe AD, but nobody has an answer for the both of them. If those two guys go off on Miami, it's over. Miami has no shot. But if Miami can minimize the rest of the guys while AD and LeBron is going off, Miami has a chance to beat them with their team concept. The guys in this series that's going to determine this series, and on the Miami Heat side, it probably be a role player who will actually win the NBA Finals. It's going to be Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, Goran Dragic, Iggy, and Jay Crowder. Yeah. And because Jimmy's not gonna go off on LeBron, and I'll be surprised if LeBron guards him until it gets critical. And Bam, Anthony Davis is just too skilled for Bam. He's bigger and he's just too skilled. Now Bam could give him problems on the other end, but until Bam learns my good friend pump fake, he's not gonna give him no problems because he refuses to pump fake these big guys and just try to go through them. You just can't go through everybody. So with Miami Heat, they got a puncher's chance now. You know, that old George Foreman when he was in his late 40s chance. That's what they got in this type of situation. But
dang, that's all the chance you give him?
Not George Foreman in his 40s.
Man, listen, everybody that's a sports fan, you guys know, two best players on a team gives that team an overwhelming advantage because you can't stop AD and nobody can stand from LeBron. I don't care who the Heat put out there, unless the Heat gonna guard him with 4 players. But one-on-one, Jimmy Butler can't stop him, man. He can try his best. He can compete like heck, but that doesn't matter. That's the same thing, me thinking I can go talk to the pretty girl at the bar. It just doesn't work that way. You know what I'm saying? you could think it's gonna work until you get over there. You know what I'm saying? Like Mike Tyson say, everybody got a plan until they get hit. So
until they get in the mouth, right?
Okay.
That's all I got.
All right.
But still go Heat though. I'm still with the Heat.
Go Heat.
Yeah. I mean, this is you hit the nail on the head with those two best players. I think that's going to propel them. But I think the second part is like whatever Iggy's able to do, like you said, whatever the crew, the bench is going to be very, very vital when it comes to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Al High, we'll go to you.
All right, so as my whole NBA bracket got shattered when the Bucks lost in the Clippers, where we already discussed them already. But this is very surprising seeing the Miami Heat. The toughness. First and foremost, I do think now we got to put Eric Spoelstra maybe in that Hall of Fame category as far as the greatness, a great mind of a coach. Definitely Pat Riley's already there, but you got to put you got to put Eric Spoelstra in there. As far as the series goes, man, it's gonna be tough to stop AD and LeBron. I seen AD has really been pouring in the points like the last couple of series between the conference semis and the conference finals. It's been about AD. LeBron kind of showed us in Game 5 against the Nuggets that he's ready for the finals, and he came in to close it out. So I think now you're going to have a big dose of LeBron and AD, and then the role players coming in and doing their part, which is going to be huge. Which is going to be very huge for Miami to handle. I think the one matchup that I do want to see, that I'm interested in watching, is who's going to be guarding AD. Adebayo. I want to watch that Ben Adebayo against AD in the post. I want to watch that matchup, and I want to see Jimmy Butler on LeBron. I want to see, they're not going to stop him, but I'm going to see how much they can contain him to at least give Miami a chance to win. So I think it's going to be a fun series. I think you might have 2 or 3 close games, but I'm going to hold my pick toward the end of who I think is going to win it.
Okay. All right, Todd, we'll go over to you.
Man, I'm looking forward to this series, man. As I said earlier already, I said Miami was my dark horse team. And in the middle of the season, when they made the trades for both Jay Crowder and Iggy, I said this team is not looking to grow. They're looking to go win a chip, right? That's what they're looking for. You make those type of moves when you truly believe that you got enough to win a chip. Those 2 players were brought in for one reason only, and actually, I'm going to say 2 reasons. Number 1, because they're great IQ and defensive players, number 1. And number 2, because they thought that they would meet a dude named LeBron James in the finals. That's why, right? And you bring those 2 dudes in because their primary assignments is going to be guarding LeBron James. And as I think everybody's already pointed out, you can't stop LeBron, right? You can't stop LeBron, just as you can't stop AD from scoring. However, if you and Coach Spo, which is great because Coach Spo coached LeBron, he's familiar with him, and most of the great coaches understand LeBron. They know that the thing you want to take away from LeBron is his ability to create for everybody else. And that is going to probably be the Miami Heat's defensive game plan, is to take away his ability to create for everybody else. This Lakers team, while they are really, really good, what they do lack is people who can create for themselves, right? So AD, LeBron, they can get theirs whenever. But you got, coming off the bench, you got Kyle Kuzma and is DeMarcus Morris or is Markieff Morris? The other Morris twin. Them the only 2 other guys that has any shot of getting their own shot off. Everybody else is playing off of LeBron, is playing off of Rondo, right? Miami's plan is going to literally be to take away that ability. That's what should be the game plan. Take away the ability to let LeBron create and make other people create for themselves. And hey, if we play them man-to-man, one-on-one, and they beat us, they beat us. But I think that Miami has a better than a puncher's chance, because he only gave a puncher's chance. I give him better than a puncher's chance. I like the way this team is constructed. They have great shooters. You have, Duncan Robinson who can shoot. You have Dragic who can shoot as well. You have your guy who can close your games out in Jimmy Butler. Like I said, you have the defense in Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder can also hit you, 3-and-D type dude. Iggy can be a playmaker and he can shoot the ball a little bit. He gets streaky, but he can shoot the ball a little bit. And you have a lot of pieces there, and they're versatile. They get up and down the floor. Sadly, and I don't like to make these comparisons because, I feel like there's only one Warriors team, but they resemble a lot of the Warriors when they won their first championship. This team right now resembles that team a lot, where they really, really good defenders. right? A good defender in Harrison Barnes, a knockdown shooter. You had your sharpshooters in Clay and Steph, and everybody else was just defense. And that's what Miami has. Miami has sharpshooters. They have defense. So I think they have a better than a puncher's chance. Although, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, the Lakers are dominating. They're huge. You got Dwight Howard looking like old school Dwight Howard a little bit, and occasionally. JaVale McGee, rim protector. They protect the rim well. They play defense in the paint well. But again, this is going to be a team where the Lakers are going to have to use their advantage, which is, again, AD and LeBron, their defense. And Miami's going to take advantage of them being able to shoot the ball. If they shoot the ball well, they can win that series.
Okay. And we got Mocha over here putting in every Miami, putting in everybody on the roster.
Hey, Kendrick Nunn came from the Warriors. Man.
I'm gonna add one more voice in here. I got a good friend of mine, DeAnthony Thompson. He's we were just talking about this before we came on, talking about the Doc Rivers thing. But I want to get your take. We got DeAnthony Thompson. We're talking about the NBA Finals right now. What's your thoughts?
What's up, fellas? Can y'all hear me clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good.
Okay. Yeah, listen to the takes, man. I kind of agree with the fellas, man. I think Miami got a punch a chance. You know, they got shooters in Hero and some of the other guys. They got some dogs, and they got a veteran coach and a veteran system when you add in Pat Riley. So they have heart. When the team they have that, you know, from that pedigree, they're going to get a game or two. I don't care how good you are. They have heart. So it'll probably go 6, but LA is just too tough. You know, LeBron James at this point, he see the light at the end of the tunnel. So I'm almost for certain I do not see him losing at this point in his career. You know, he doesn't always put up a lot of points, but he's always near triple-double. He's dominant. Still, in my opinion, the best player in the game, and that's crazy after, I think, 17 years. So you add in AD. I like Bam, but AD is still a mismatch for him because AD is a top 10 player in the game. So, and then you add in that veteran presence, that probably pushes over the top when you're talking about a Rondo and the rest of those guys. So I got LA probably in 6 man on that. But I like the Heat, man. They showed a lot of heart, and I wonder if people are going to come out to Brad Stevens because that team, they had enough talent and they should have won, to be honest.
They should have, but at the end of the day, shoulda, coulda, woulda. And like you said, the heart, man. That heart goes a long way. You can't put that on the stat sheet. You can't put that on a piece of paper. You can't look that up on ESPN because it's not on there. But there's a difference. There's a difference when you got that heart. So final start Wednesday. It could have I think extended to Friday, depending on how this last game went. But this is gonna go down as you know, a finals that we're all gonna be excited to watch. I'm thinking about it since we got 5 guys on here right now. We could do I'm thinking about doing a post game type show after each game or after maybe a couple of games or something like that. I think that'll be because we already got the conversation going. So I think that may be something we could do. We talk about. And Anthony, since we got you on here, talk about the Doc Rivers thing. What was that? How did that catch you off guard? And you were expecting it?
Here's the thing with the Doc Rivers situation. They said they were going to bring him back initially, and I thought, okay, cool, we're gonna run it back another year. Okay, I mean, I wasn't happy about it because I was rooting for him because, you know, I like Kawhi, but I was like, whatever, bring Doc back, run it back. Then, like I was telling you when we talked a little bit earlier, when a story comes out about your players not having issues with the coach and what he's running, what that means that the team is getting ready to fire you and they putting the story out to gain traction. And that's what happened. So once that story came out, I was like, what? Why is this story coming out now when you just said he was coming back next year? That doesn't make sense. Those are contradicting things. So I said once that happened, I was like, okay, what's going to happen? But the news still shocked me. It still did. I don't know why they waited. They should have, to me, did it right when they lost. But Doc is going to get another job. I like him in New Orleans. I like him in Philly. I like him both places, depending on what he's looking for at this point in his career. But I seen this coming, man. You can't lose the way that they lost, man, and think that you're going to survive. But a lot of people are also coming to Doc's defense saying that, you know, he it's not him missing shots, but I just think in the way that they lost, I thought this was coming, to be honest.
Yeah, it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. That's an embarrassing way to lose, especially when almost everybody, like I said this earlier, in basketball culture, had them playing the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. Let's talk about Pat Riley for a minute, man. I don't know, Will. I don't know if you mentioned this or somebody mentioned this, but Pat Riley is holding that grudge against LeBron from the time he left. And Pat Riley, either he's in the mafia or he was in the mafia. The dude always looks like
he seems like he still is.
He's still in the mafia. He's still in there. Yeah.
He always sitting back like, hey, I want you to put a hit out on number 35. Number 35. Put it on number 35. Make his legs for me. All right, can you take care of that for me? I'm gonna give you these coins real quick. But man, just the pedigree of Pat Riley, man. Like if you look at this whole dude's resume, there from coaching to GM, and then he went back to coaching. I think one year when he was with is that when he was with Miami? He went back to coaching from being a GM. Like
he helped win the championship. Yeah, the first championship. That was him.
Yeah. Pat Riley is just on another level basketball wise, but he's got to be proud. But anything we've learned, if anybody watched The Last Dance, these guys hold grudges. They're not just like, oh, it's all good in the hood just because something happened in the past. They hold grudges, and I guarantee you Pat Riley's going to be thinking about that. He probably was putting this team together thinking that. But talk about anybody want to touch on that, Pat Riley, and just his pedigree on what he's brought to the Heat as a whole.
He's brought that culture, man. He's brought that discipline, and he's brought that culture. That's the main thing. And trust me, Pat Riley has got a grudge against LeBron James. It's real. It's real. He wants to win this in the worst way, but the difference is LeBron can control the outcome. Pat can only wish and hope. That's a big difference. So you can hold a grudge, but if the person you hold the grudge against don't know you hold the grudge and they still kick your butt, it doesn't matter.
It don't matter. Right.
But you definitely got a grudge against him.
But remember though, Jordan held a grudge against Alfred Bradford, whoever that guy was.
Oh, Bradford Smith. Yeah, Bradford Smith. Yeah, he made up the story. He even admitted to it. Yeah,
that's Jordan. That's Jordan. Anybody else want to touch on that? All right, thank you for turning that light on. It was looking a little dark.
I was like, let me turn the light on, man.
Final start Wednesday. The Heat finished the season 44-20. Lakers 52-19. Let's name one player on each team that has to that's I'm not gonna say it's an X factor, but one player on the team that really hasn't done that much, but they could add in to these finals and make a huge difference. I'll say Miami. It kind of proved the last game, and it's almost like they were sitting on Iggy, and they weren't really giving Iggy that much time. But Iggy's going to be that guy. Like depending on what he does, that's going to be major. I think on the Lakers side, I think you gotta look at Quinn Cook. I don't know how much run he's going to get, but if he does get in the game, I think he could be a guy that may be able to give them something. But they already got who they have. And how much run is he going to get? And maybe J.R. Smith. You may see Henny Smith to get in there for a little while, jacking up some threes.
That's funny.
But Ty, I'll go to you. Name a player on each team that.
For the Lakers, Kuzma. Kuzma will have to give you something. He's going to have to be consistent. Like I said, it's going to be important for him to be able to get his own shot, and shoot the ball well. So I think for the Lakers, he's going to be key. And then for Miami, Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder is going to have the assignment of LeBron James. He's going to be the one to guard LeBron James. He's going to have to stay out of foul trouble. He's going to have to be able to knock down the occasional three. And he's been doing that all. If you've been watching him in the playoffs, man, he's been making some dagger shots, man. He's been making some dagger shots. They're going to still need that. They just going to need him to be defensive-minded, make the shot when they need him to, sort of like the Lakers want Danny Green to do, but Danny Green jump shot disappeared this whole playoffs. Sort of like that. So that's what they need him to do.
Where you been at, Danny?
So, yeah, those are my two players.
Okay. All right. Al, we'll go to you.
I think for the Lakers, it's going to be Danny Green. I'm waiting on Danny. I'm looking forward to Danny Green being in the finals for him to get the ball and to make the shots and to knock them down. I expect him to make at least 4 to 5 threes, at least 12 to 16 points a game for the Lakers in the finals.
Ooh, Jesus!
Hey, you got 2 rings for a reason.
Yeah.
You got 2 for a reason. So I expect that championship swagger to be in play, and I'm looking forward to Gordon Dragic for his leadership. He's been waiting for this moment. I think Gordon been in the league for like 14 years. So in his basketball pedigree, learning behind Steve Nash and being in Miami playing with Wade, I want to see what he's going to do. So those would be my 2 players that I'll be looking for is Danny Green and Gordon Dragic.
Okay. All right, we'll bring it to Will. We'll bring it to you.
I think if whoever wins this matchup between Tyler Hero and Kyle Kuzma, that's who will determine the winner. I think LeBron and AD is going to do their thing, but if the Kyle Kuzma gives them that third scoring option where he's dropping 15 a night, it's a wrap for Miami. And if Tyler Hero wins that matchup, then Miami has a chance. And also, there's a personal backstory between these 2 cats off the court because Tyler Hero is now dating Kuzma's ex-girlfriend. So we're going
Oh wow!
It's always a female involved.
Oh man!
And she is in the bubble.
Oh, there.
She's there. Watching on the sideline.
Oh, yeah.
What are you clapping for? You better not clap for him. Better not clap for him.
Oh, she's tapping for Tyler because Tyler's gonna get max dollars. Cal Kuzma will never get max dollars. Cal Kuzma is gonna get that bread. Tyler Hero's gonna get that bread. Trust me. Yeah. He gonna pay him. Cal Kuzma will never get that unless somebody just overpays. But yeah, that's the backstory that I saw earlier. One of my friends tagged me on Facebook, and I was like, "What? Wait, Kyle Kuzma's ex-girl is Tyler? Wait a second, Tyler Hero just got in the league, dog, buddy." And man, she easy on the eyes. I'm gonna try to tell you. I'm gonna leave it there. Next person.
Tyler Hero is getting a lot of love right now, and deservingly so. Yeah. All right, D'Anthony, we'll go to you.
I think I was gonna say Hero, but you kind of said someone that really hasn't stepped up. I'll go. I was gonna go. I got the 2 choices with the other gentleman. I got the point guard. I always so hard Gragic, so hard his name him, and I got Danny Green. Danny Green. They brought him in for Toronto. We know his pedigree. He was with the Spurs. He's a champion. My thing is, when are you gonna have your moment, Danny? We know you to hit big threes. We know you to hit big threes. We know you to play really good defense. This is the perfect time. Like, I agree totally with the gentleman. Like, his points and everything. This is the perfect time, Danny, to say, "Hey, this is why y'all brought me here for, I think, was $16 million." Because honestly, man, Danny been disappointing. He's been very disappointing. But this is his moment. And then we're talking about Gorgic, man. He's been in the league for so long. I remember when he came in with Phoenix. He was a cat that had a lot of heart, had a lot of that Europe game, and I love that Europe game. I like it. Manu Ginobili, I like it. And he came and he played it. He's a good player, and it's amazing to see, kind of like Jason Kidd in the sense, those guys that been in the league for so long, they finally get a chance to win a ring. I think that's so cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yep.
And I'm a Tar Heels fan, so seeing Danny Green out there like that, man, is a little bit disappointing. Now the last kind of topic I want to. Somebody was gonna say something.
I was about to say, just throw this out there. Goran Dragic leading the team in the playoffs and scoring 20.9 points a game. Just throw it out there. He been lighting it up, baby.
Hey,
Yes.
quietly lighting it up.
quietly though, you don't even hear him get shouted out. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Who Isaiah Rodriguez? Does anybody know who that is? He said Doc to the Pelicans. He said it 4 times.
I like that. I'm not
Okay,
mad at that.
5 times.
Just bringing nutrition with you, Doc. That's all you gotta do. Just bring
Nutritional coach in there. Hey, bring in somebody fine and tell them you got to eat this, and they'll be good. That'll be good. That'll get them smart real quick. Somebody tell me, and maybe I could be wrong. I know I haven't watched so many Lakers games, but why is Kentavious Caldwell-Pope? Why does this dude still have a contract? What does this dude do, man? I mean, like when I seen this dude on the floor, and how much is he getting paid? He getting paid $8 million. $8 million. He getting paid more than Avery Bradley. He getting paid more than Quinn Cook. He getting paid Dudley. He should get paid more than Dudley. But he's getting paid more than JaVale McGee. Can somebody tell me why Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is that valuable on this Lakers team?
He plays defense. That's it.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop.
Listen. Wait, I didn't say he was good. I just said he played defense. That's all I said.
Oh, he gets in the way. That's what you finished with.
Their best perimeter defender decided to stay at home. He decided to stay at home, which is Avery Bradley. He decided to stay at home. So that's why Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is getting the minutes that he gets right now. It's because Avery Bradley is not there. That's it.
Hey Ben, hey fella, this is what he's good for, Ben. He'll hit a nice big 3 every so often and get a total of about 8 points. And that's just what he is at this point. Like he's a guy that's gonna he'll hit 2 big 3s. I give him that. Right. He'll hit off of a tip pass, and I'm like, dang, that's a big play. But then you look up and he'll have 6 points or 8 points. So he's a guy that I don't know. Like he said, he almost has to play right now, and you can't really expect too much from him, to be honest.
But he's a professional basketball player. He should be able to hit all those open jump shots that he has from LeBron and AD.
He is currently shooting.
Caldwell teaches the young men.
Okay. All I can say is he's shooting 42% from the 3-point line.
He's wide open. He should make a lot of shots.
Just make him. All you gotta do is make him, baby.
The man is wide open. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is on that team because LeBron's people represents him. That's just call it what it is.
LeBron had his name on that list that he sent to Lakers. Hey, here on my list, you go get all my people right there.
LeBron had his name on that list, but apparently he didn't have Paul's name on that list and Brandon Ingram. That's why he brought up that guy that won the most improved player award. He's still salty towards Brandon Ingram because he tried to nix a trade to get AD last year, but he ended up going to New Orleans anyway. But anyway, man, let's stop it. The Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is on the Lakers because LeBron's people represent him. And he plays about as much defense as the 5 of us right now. Seriously.
LeBron always has that guy that he helps with charity. You got a lot of money, you got to be able to get charity because that helps you, move your money around. Tristan Thompson was his charity on the last team. Now,
he got Tristan Thompson a max check and a woman. So I'm
that's highway robbery, man. I love supposedly get rebounds. Come on, man.
That's it. 10 points, 10 rebounds, $35 million a year. I was like, Jesus,
like he Dennis Rodman or something, man.
Yeah, really.
That's why David Griffin got fired. That's why they let him go. That's why when LeBron left, they was like, look, you got to go. You made us eat this garbage contract. You can go ahead and go too. That was, you guys are correct. Come on, man. Really, that dude, I mean, don't get me wrong. Tristan Thompson's a hard worker and he's a good piece to a championship team, but that money he got,
it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it.
It wasn't worth it.
All right, I know we talking basketball, but we got before we go, we got Chiefs and Ravens on tonight. This is I think going to be probably one of the best games of the season. Right now, it's 6-3. Chiefs are up. Lamar Jackson got 2 carries, 35 yards. Tyreek Hill got 1 catch for 33 yards. Who do you guys have winning this game tonight? I think Will, I had you on Saturday. Mm-hmm. I'm going with the Chiefs though. I think. To me, I'm giving Patrick Mahomes a little bit of an edge on Lamar. I think they're both freakish athletes. They're both great quarterbacks. And I think the defensive matchup to me is going to be probably the most interesting part about this, because you got two tough defenses going to be going at each other. But Todd, we'll go to you. Who you got winning tonight and why?
Man, the Chiefs, man. You got Magic Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? Mahomes is gonna outplay the Ravens, man. I mean, I don't know what it is about that dude, but he just figures it out. He figures out how to win. I gotta go with Mahomes until the Chiefs can get knocked off.
Okay. Al, I don't even know why I'm gonna bring your name up, but
Okay. Man, look, hey, they running. Hey, look, Chiefs got the ball right now. The first drive, Patty was just throwing all over the field on that Ravens secondary, so they got the ball again. What I was concerned with the Chiefs for this game, because it was going to be a trap game for them, because they have been struggling stopping the run. And the first drive, the Ravens were they running it up the middle with Ingram, doing stuff with Lamar Jackson, and they stopped them and got a field goal. But then when Patty got out there and was throwing that ball into Kelsey and throwing that ball to Tyreek, I felt a little bit better about our chances right now. So yes, we're gonna be just fine. yes.
Terrence said Chiefs are winning that game. Lamar is playing scared. I'm surprised to hear that. Lamar, nobody don't do that. DeAnthony, we'll go to you.
I'm not watching the game, but I'm about to. I picked the Ravens before. I think they got the better defense, to be honest, man. I think this is a game that they should win after they're playing in Baltimore, even though for whatever that's worth at this point. I got Baltimore winning though. Even they may be losing now, so I don't know what's happening, but I ain't gonna change my pick just because they losing.
I feel you. Stick with your team, baby. Stick with them.
All right, Will.
I picked the Ravens, but unlike DeAnthony, I'll jump off a bandwagon quick. But I'm gonna stick with the Ravens. I think the Ravens find a way to get this running game to duplicate what they did on that first drive. Lamar just missed some throws, but I like the Ravens in this game. They got to beat them at some point. They haven't beat them in the last two regular season meetings they've had. They got to beat them at some point.
Right?
They didn't get one. I thought they got one. They didn't get that one.
Nah, Mahomes just keep on just boop boop boop. He just turn it on. He just turn it on.
I think last year was the first matchup between Mahomes and Jackson, and this is year two. It's going to be kind of like Brady versus Manning. Awesome. Yep. Manning Brady, because these two teams are going to be at the top of their divisions for a very long time. So they're going to be hold
on. Kyler got something to say about that.
Oh, well, see, Kyler in the NFC though, so he
know that. Yeah. But I'm just saying, as a young quarterback, I think that boy gonna be the truth, and I'm not saying he gonna be better than
Will said no. Will said no. He said no.
Hey, that's all I'm saying. Go ahead.
I got nothing. I'm just listening.
Hey, I will say this though, because I know we're about to cut this off, but man, these young QBs that's coming into the league are really like showing out though, man. Yeah. It's good to really see that talent.
They're coming in the league ahead. They're not coming in the league like I need a couple years to get my stuff together. They're coming in the league already ready.
But it's also interesting too, because a lot of the NFL teams today have started picking up that spread offense, which a lot of these quarterbacks are coming from. So they're making that transition to the NFL a lot easier for them. So that's pretty dope. You know, like I said, I like Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is going to be nice. He's going to be nice. Justin Herbert is another one's going. I think he's going to be nice with the Chargers right now. And I mean, we already got the two youngest MVPs in NFL history in Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes. So, you know, the NFL is in good hands, man. You know, the quarterback position is in good hands.
I'm gonna tell you something now.
That
was the dumbest move by the Houston Texans of trading DeAndre Hopkins week in.
I'm
looking at that. I'm looking at the Texans against teams. I'm like, okay, no DeAndre Hopkins. Let me go watch the Arizona game. Oh, they got DeAndre Hopkins.
Bro, they using them too.
Basically, it just came down to it where it was like, you need DeAndre Hopkins. Oh man, that's so sorry. I just traded him a couple minutes ago. Like,
Yep, that's
hey,
what it was.
Bill O'Brien, like the way they're trending, they may only win 6 games this year, and that's to me that's a waste of the time.
Lower.
He said
Lower?
I need them to go lower. They got the number one. I got their number one pick. I need them to get the number one overall pick. So I need them to win like 2 games. The Dolphins got the number one.
Unfortunately,
he must got blackmail on somebody. How do he still have a job?
He's the GM too.
He's the GM.
Hey, I asked that a couple years ago. I said, "How does Bill O'Brien still have a job, man?"
The same way Dan Quinn still has one. Dan Quinn still has one, and he's blown 2 25-point leads 2 weeks in a row.
But isn't Bill O'Brien the GM too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nuts, man.
He's not gonna fire himself.
Hey,
exactly.
Nuts. Wow.
Hey, the first game of the season when I watched that game, I was like, guess who they could have used this game? DeAndre Hopkins.
Big time.
The second game of the season, you know you could have used to make a big play? DeAndre Hopkins. You know what?
You got Texans. I listened to some Texans podcast, and the dude say, "Yeah, Kenny Stills and Will Fuller. Man, Kenny Stills can run straight. That's all he can do.
All he do. That's all he do.
He's number 3.
Hey,
name one game. You should have said name one game Will Fuller had a standout game. I think he had one, at least that I know of. I think he had 2 or 3 touchdowns. I can't remember the day. I can't remember the year. I can't remember anything about it. But Will Fuller probably had one game. Good.
He had a couple at Notre Dame, man.
You know, the problem with the Texans, man, for real, Bill O'Brien overthinks everything. He thinks he can do what Bill Belichick. He thinks he can do what Bill Belichick does. Yeah. You can't just put it. It don't work like that. You know, you can't just put receivers out there and be like, all right, I got a quarterback. I'm just gonna give him anything. Your quarterback is not Aaron Rodgers. First off, he's not Aaron Rodgers. That's the only dude you can do that to is Aaron Rodgers. But you don't have Aaron Rodgers back there, and you got all receivers that do exactly the same thing, and they all hella little. They all little. You can't.
Come on. You can't use the Belichick thing. He's not even close. He better not even be thinking that because he don't have an O-line number 1. That's really number 1. Then number 2, he don't have no receivers. Like he's setting his quarterback up to get hurt, but nobody's talking about that.
Yeah. And you hey, what sense does that make? Wait, that guy, and you don't protect him. He needs to answer that question.
Wait,
I need to so I can ask him that question.
Wait, they traded for the Dolphins, Laramie Tunsil, right? To put him over there. And forgot that the other side somebody too. I'm like, yo, y'all stupid.
I appreciate it. They gave up 2 number 1 picks for a guy who can play that well for us. So thank you.
And I had a Houston guy try to argue with me about that too. He was like, man, Laramie Tunsil was the top left tackle in the league. I said, in what league? Not in NFL.
He's talking about the SEC. When he was at
He showed ain't not in the NFL. He ain't.
Nah, it's a guy in San Francisco got something to say about that.
Oh, it's a bunch of different guys. There's a lot of people ahead of him.
I said who he the best left tackle though, just to get that out the way. Big Trent.
Oh yeah, I'll take Trent. Yeah, I'll probably take Trent for anybody.
All right, so before we get out of here, Courtney's not here. If you are still watching or listening, your Eagles are the first team to get a tie in the NFL. Congratulations. If I had the clap track, I would hit that right now. And not only did you tie, but you tied with the Bengals. So congratulations.
I feel like the Eagles tie every other year. They get a tie.
It don't seem that way. Yeah.
Nah, for real. Yep.
All right. Well, we're going to round it out here. Appreciate you guys for coming on. Leave us with one thing you guys got coming up this week. We do that at the end of every show. Ty, what you got coming up this week?
Oh man, you know what? I'm finally getting back to start doing the Man Listen podcast. So Listen podcast is coming back. I think we're gonna record on Friday, I believe, and release Sunday night or Monday morning. So but me and you, we still got to connect. We're gonna put something together on the Man Listen thing, and we're gonna get this rolling.
Definitely. All right, Al.
So I've been on sabbatical from podcasting for a little bit. The Casual Highlight. I'm gearing up for season 2. Going to start it in the next 10 days. Back to recording. call it back to podcasting season 2 of the Casual Highlights. So just enjoying vacation and planning for season 2 coming up shortly.
Nice. Will.
It's gonna depend on game 1. My level of happiness. If we win, I'm happy. If we lose, I'm not gonna be happy. So my podcast is gonna be all determined about what happens in game 1. That's it. And then I'll probably talk. I think WNBA final should be set. I'm hoping for a Vegas and Seattle situation. I think Stanley Cup will be done by then. I think Tampa will go ahead and get rid of Dallas. Sorry, Ben.
Why you gotta say that, man? Don't say that out loud. Tampa Bay is up 1-0.
Hey, you don't sleep on WNBA, man. Those girls got skills, man. Seriously.
I used to go to the Dallas Wing games, the team down here, man. But that's funny.
Yeah.
All right, D'Anthony. It could be podcasting or whatever you got coming up this week.
Hey, me and you, man. I love what we do. Talking sports. I love it. So we'll probably do that outside of the podcast world. I'll be filming my first high school game, so we'll see how that go. High school football is huge down here in Texas. I'm sure you guys know that by now. And I'm gonna leave you with this, man. And this, I wasn't, I'm not trying to say this because anybody on here, but I think that you may be back.
All day, every day.
A lot of speed, a lot of size. We talked about this last week. I love the way they look. I love the way Miami look. But let's hold off until they play top end talent. But the U may be back. Yes, sir.
He got the U hat on. He already knows. Clemson. Yep. Clemson in the U, October the 10th. That's where it's at right there.
Barbecue a mildew. They always say in the South, barbecue a mildew.
All I know is if we can get past Clemson, man, we going for that chip, man. We going for the chip.
They're the best team in the country.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Hey, LSU is not the same. Alabama's not the same. People like, oh my God, LSU lost. Let's burn everything down. It's not the same team. They don't have They don't have the wide receivers.
They lost
the same defense.
They lost like 15 people. They lost like 15 people to the NFL.
Come on, like what are you
I'm gonna say this though. I think you still gotta have a better showing. Because if you're LSU, you're getting top recruits, right? I know the COVID messed everything up. You mean to tell me you can't get a 5-star quarterback to come in? This has been LSU problem for the last 10 years, and I'm not lying. They're gonna have good running backs. They're gonna have good receivers. They're gonna have a really good secondary. But a quarterback, I'm not giving them. They should have. I'm not happy with how they play. And even with the loss of talent, I think this game they didn't play good, man. And something about that it don't sit right with me. And I'm not an LSU fan at all.
Hey, D'Anthony, and part of that quarterback issue was because of Les Miles and his stubbornness.
You were right about that, brother.
Man, that's part of that where he just wanted to always run power football. Think about it. They had Odell Beckham and Landry as wide receivers, and they didn't get the love until they got to the NFL. All right.
Facts.
So yeah, that's where that come from.
Yep.
All right.
That's 100. Yep.
All right. NBA Finals Wednesday. I'll be in touch with you guys. We'll see if we can do a post game show. I think that'll be dope to do that. But Ty, as always, man.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate being on here as usual, man.
Al with the White Sox hat on. You look like you should be in the NWA video with the White Sox. Will.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, man. You guys be easy tonight.
All right, man. Take care, brothers. I'll be blessed.
All right.
For sure, bro.
Okay.
Peace.
All right.